Hey gang, it's Wednesday, October 8th, and wow, what a day we had at the Northeast ALS Consortium meeting today. First, let me tell you about this outfit. It's mainly the jacket. It's a special jacket from a company called Dolce & Gabbana that celebrates somebody called the Comics King. I've never actually seen this person in a comic book, but I do like all the colors on this jacket. But more importantly, let me tell you about some of the things that happened today at the meeting that I thought were pretty cool. So we started out with our co-chairs, Jinsey Andrews and James Berry, giving us a review of what NEALS has accomplished over the past 30 years. Yeah, this organization is 30 years old now. Did you know that when it started, there were only 5 sites, all from New England, and now there's 165 sites located all over the world. And together we've accomplished over 50 different clinical trials with more than 1,000 people with ALS enrolled in those trials. One of the things I liked the most when they talked about all the accomplishments of NEALS through the years was the establishment of the Clinical Research Learning Institute in 2011. Because to me, this is the first time that we had a program that really elevated the voice of people living with ALS, really made them full partners in everything that we do. And they've accomplished so many things. More than 800 people have graduated from this program and gone on to be research ambassadors. And they've helped us with fundraising. They've helped us to change laws, to generate more research. Many of them were instrumental, for example, in establishing the Act for ALS, $500 million in new funding for ALS research and expanded access programs. We heard about some trials that have been active in NEALS for a few years now, like the Healy platform trial. It's an incredible success as far as efficiency, and it was exciting to hear that there's going to be 3 new regimens coming in the next few months. So one of these is from Lilly. It's called LY3873862. It inhibits a target called SARM1, which we think is involved in the generation of axons. We heard about an arm which is going to be from Neurisen. They have a drug which blocks autophagy. And we heard about a drug called TPN-101, which is a transposon inhibitor, ultimately reduces the amount of TDP-43 mislocalization and neuroinflammation. My favorite part of the day was something called lightning talks. So in this part of the day, people were challenged to talk about their research in just 3 minutes, which is not easy. But I love this talk by my colleague, Dr. Gary Petit from University of Nebraska. He's got some evidence that there might be something out there called chlorovirus, which is something associated with green algae that could potentially be a new cause of sporadic ALS. And finally, we heard about a new target called calpain-2. And there's a company that's got a trial underway to try to knock that down. So these are all brand new ideas just in the past year that I've never heard of before. We finished off the day with an incredible poster session where we heard about a lot of work that's in progress, including work that's looking at the relationship between someone's attitude and their progression of ALS. As you know, I'm a big proponent of hope. I think that hope is more than just an emotion. I actually think it's a treatment. But there's some people who've been looking at the flip side of it, and they've shown that people who have depression or high scores on a loneliness measure may not be doing nearly as well. And so I think while we wait for better drugs to slow, stop, or reverse ALS, these are some pieces of low-hanging fruit that we can all work on. I met several colleagues that are also interested in the gut microbiome. And so we're going to be able to form some relationships across universities that have never worked together before. As you know, I'm fascinated by the fact that the microbiome is different in slow and fast progressing patients, and that we can take stool from those patients and change the progression of ALS in our animal model. And so at Duke, we're just a few weeks away from enrolling our first patient in something which is called the fecal transplant study. We also have on tap over the next year or so a couple of studies of probiotics but some of my colleagues believe that we might be able to change the gut microbiome just with diet alone. And so we'll be looking at that together. And my favorite part of the day was I got to spend a lot of time with some of the people living with ALS that are here. And we've got some ideas for using our creativity in new ways to raise awareness and maybe some funds for some of the research that we want to do. All right, it's late. I need to rest up because tomorrow is promising to be an even bigger day. I'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.